Well, folks, here we again for the weekly forecast. During this past week, the major weather that we dealt with was the remnants of Hurricane Simon that came in through the Baja Peninsula and into the southwest last weekend, gradually moving into the central southern plains as we got into the midweek period. Here in Nebraska, we started to see some scattered light showers developing during the late afternoon hours of Wednesday, and during the overnight hours of Wednesday night into Thursday morning, we did see some thunderstorms develop in the extreme southeastern corner of the state. Most areas received nothing more than a few sprinkles. This one small area from about Beatrice over to Falls City and south of Nebraska City reports anywhere from about 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch. In the areas that didn't receive thunderstorms, those that did get some isolated thunderstorms, we've seen a couple totals coming into the 1 to 1.5 inch range, but it wasn't very widespread. Now, that precipitation with remnants of Hurricane Simon did lead to some rather significant moisture across eastern Kansas and Missouri. That has pushed east, and yet we have another system coming from the northwest of us that is expected to intensify across the southern plains and bring some significant moisture to the southern Corn Belt as well as the eastern Corn Belt. So let's take a look at the upper air models and see what we have in store. Here's that trough that is going to be rapidly progressing toward the south. We don't see a lot of moisture involved with the system for Nebraska as it passes to the south of us. We do expect to see some precipitation breaking out, but the earliest it probably will occur is in the northwest corner as we get later this afternoon and this evening. And then we'll start to see that spreading southeastward right ahead of the cold front as it pushed toward the southeast. By tomorrow, you can see that the trough has really dug itself out. There is a little bit of energy here over eastern Nebraska, but with this big piece of energy pivoting around this upper air low, that's going to intercept the Gulf moisture coming into our region, and a lot of that is going to be scoured out before it makes it up into our region. So we're not really expecting tremendous volumes of precipitation. More importantly, though, we are going to see a fairly significant and robust area of precipitation gradually moving to the central plains toward the eastern Corn Belt as this next week progresses. So as we get into Monday, you can see this trough is sitting well south of and southeast of us. We're in the northwest flow on the backside, so it's going to be a rather raw day on Monday with these northwest winds, but more importantly, a tremendous volume of precipitation is going to break out across Missouri and southern Illinois and Indiana, such that when we look at the precipitation, we can see this big influx of moisture. The blues here indicate, the light blues indicate in inch totals. We get into these purple shadings, you're looking at 2 to upwards of 4 inches of moisture for the Sunday through Tuesday morning time frame, and then as we get into Tuesday, we'll see this low start to pivot toward the Great Lakes, so we're going to start to see additional moisture spreading more toward the northeast. For us, we're looking at high pressure ridge building in, bringing much warmer conditions to the region, and that will hold into Wednesday. Very nice warm conditions on Wednesday, but look at this other trough that's coming in from the Pacific Northwest. That will start to impact us as we get into Thursday and Friday. More importantly, the upper air low responsible for all the heavy precipitation will push toward the northeast, and so when we look at the Thursday forecast, we'll see this trough moving across the northern plains. It looks like most energy will stay in the Dakotas and leave most of Nebraska fairly dry. It looks like more of a wind shift at this point in time with no source of Gulf moisture into our region. And if we look at the forecast from basically Tuesday morning through Friday morning, we're looking at that heavy precipitation expanding all along the eastern seaboard, so we're looking at 1 to 3 more inches of precipitation in this region, but very dry conditions for us. And as we look out at Friday, that low exits out and we have high pressure rebuilding back in. So if we look at the temperature forecast, we're looking at very cool conditions this weekend, gradual warm up during midweek, and then a slight cool down at the end of the week. We look at the 8 to 14 day forecast next Thursday through the following Tuesday, well above normal temperatures and dry conditions, perfect for harvest activity.